Unfortunately, just a few skin divers of the wrong kind can give diving a bad name. That's why when Pete Bates hauled up his lobster pots one day in June and found them empty, he was plenty angry. Figured that he had run into some skin diver trouble. But what he didn't know was that it was soon to become the worst trouble of his life.
Hey, you two! Where's my lobsters? I know you two. You're Joe Gordon. You're Eddie Delaney.
I'm only borrowing them, Pete. It's for an initiation.
Shut up! I'll teach you to steal my catch. Play up, Pop. Help!
Help! Oh, my drown!
Now what? Come on!
Hey, my drown!
You just wait. I'll catch you. Next time I'll bring my gun.
A week later, I was in the same area on the enjoyable assignment of giving skin diving pointers to a pretty marine biologist. Alma Carroll was looking for a certain kind of eelgrass. She made another kind of discovery, a brand new expensive spear gun. On it were the initials ED. The spear gun was ultimately to prove the evidence and the clue to an underwater murder. The local skin diving shop seemed the logical place to check on our find.
Hi, Mike. Hello, Alma.
Hi, Clark. Do you know of a diver with initials ED?
ED. Mike, where'd you find this?
About 50 yards off Camino Beach.
This is the one I sold to Eddie Delaney.
The diver who disappeared last week?
Yeah. Mike, I think maybe you better take this to the police.
Yeah, I think I better. Thanks, Clark. The police were very interested. They asked me to help them. I accompanied an assistant DA on a visit to Eddie Delaney's diving buddy, a parking lot attendant named Joe Gordon.
Yeah, we had a run-in with Pete.
Did he threaten to bring a gun next time?
The old guy didn't mean anything by it. He's sore at all skin diving. He thinks we're somehow responsible for the bad catch he's had all season.
Now, that was Sunday. How about the following Tuesday?
I told you. I went by Eddie's house to see if he wanted to go diving that morning. Well, he said he was busy. Well, I didn't want to go either. That was the last time I saw him.
Ever see that spear gun before?
Well, that's Eddie's. Where'd you find it?
In the area around Pete's lobster pots. Is it possible he lost it that Sunday?
Oh, no. He had it in the car when we went home that day. I'm sure of it. Hey, wait a minute. You don't think that Eddie went out alone last Tuesday and Pete actually shot him?
I don't think anything. Not yet.
What about Eddie? Was he pretty good underwater?
He's pretty good, at least past the beginner stage.
Would he go out alone?
Oh, no. I taught him better than that.
Oh, you taught him, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Who taught you?
Nobody, really. I've been swimming in these waters ever since I was a kid. Mostly for abalone.
Well, you must know this area pretty well, then.
Yes, I do.
Any particular spot out here that diver might get into trouble? I mean, like underwater current, caves, thick kelp?
Oh, Eddie was a very cautious guy. He wouldn't go into an area like that with me. He certainly wouldn't go it alone.
Where would he be apt to go?
In the only area he knows.
What was that?
The area around Pete's lobster pots.
That made Pete an even more logical suspect. We interrogated him next.
Tell him the truth, mister. I didn't have no gun. Sure, I told him I did. That was just to scare him.
But you did go fishing last Tuesday.
Tuesday? Don't remember. I don't remember days so good no more. All light to me. Got no place to go.
Well, let me refresh your memory, Pete. The Pier Fish Market says you brought in 28 lobsters on Tuesday afternoon.
28, huh? At least I remember that good. Must be they remember the day. I don't know.
Did you happen to see Eddie Delaney at all that day?
Huh? That one. You better stay away from my catch, I'm telling you.
It's a little late for that. Now, could it be that you came across Eddie Delaney last Tuesday and killed him?
You've got no right calling me a liar, mister.
I'm calling you a good deal more than that, Pete. I'm saying you're a possible murderer. You had the motive and the opportunity.
I'll teach you. Go around calling people names. Easy now, Pete. Take it easy. Maybe you didn't actually see Delane himself. But it's possible that you could have seen his bubbles, isn't it? Whenever I see bubbles, I know skin divers down there stealing my lobsters, maybe. Did you see any bubbles that day, Tuesday? No. I don't know. Are you sure now? No, I don't know. I didn't see Eddie. I told you, mister, I didn't see Eddie. Now, if you said I did, okay. I'm tired. I don't remember so good no more. I'm going to my boat.
Pete, now do you understand that I could lock you up in jail on suspicion?
Jail? Lock me up? Okay.
Oh, forget about it.
But you just said...
Now, I know, just forget what I said. But be sure you don't leave town.
Sure, mister. Hey, mister, what's wrong when I leave town? I was born here. Got no place else to go.
What do you think?
I think he's telling the truth. As much as he can remember of it.
Well, that's just the trouble. He can't remember much anymore. If I put him on the stand, it'd be even worse.
Well, whatever did happen to Delaney, Pete didn't shoot him.
What makes you so certain?
The way he was squinting. He's almost blind. He couldn't shoot a gun with any degree of accuracy, especially a moving target in the water.
Yeah, you may be right.
You hold off on this for a couple of days.
You got an idea?
Well, I'd like to take another look around, see if I could find something. After all, I only searched a small area. Maybe Joe Gordon could help me.
All right, let's go talk to him.
Joe Gordon was most cooperative. He insisted on taking time off from his job. Alma came along, and the three of us agreed to divide up the search area. We surfaced according to plan, but none of us had found anything.
What's beyond those rocks?
Just a little cove.
We could try that next.
Well, there's not much sense in that. Eddie would go nowhere near that cove. Matter of fact, none of us would. Strong rip current over there. It's dangerous, and he knew it.
What if he got caught in the rip?
I already thought of that. Checked that cove out. The first thing we found out, Eddie had disappeared. There wasn't a sign of him. Anyway, like I said, he wouldn't go anywhere near there.
Well, let's go back to the shop and get some more air.
Sorry, I gotta get back to the job. I'll meet you tomorrow afternoon if you like, huh?
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Good to see you.
Like I said, let's go get our tanks refilled.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Hiya, Pete.
Hello, mister. Ah. What you got in the sack? Some lobsters. Hey, maybe you and the lady would like to buy some, huh? Give you a special price, huh? Why don't you sell them to the fish market? They don't want my lobsters no more. 18 years been selling to them. I say they don't want my lobsters no more.
Why not?
They say something about something in the paper. I don't read too good. I don't know.
Maybe we can use a couple of lobsters.
Why don't you come up to the chief with me?
I'll get you your money.
Sure, mister.
Hiya, Pete.
Hey, want to buy some lobsters, huh?
Not today, Pete. The DA wants to talk to you. Want to leave your catch someplace?
Look, I'll sell them. Tell him I see him later.
I'm sorry, Pete, but I got to take you in right now.
Officer, may I talk to you? You find something?
Yeah, it kind of looks bad for the old man.
What do you mean?
Well, we searched his shack and found a diver's knife. It's been identified as Delaney's.
Oh?
Excuse me. Okay, Pete. Let's go, huh?
I didn't do nothing, mister. You tell me you wanted to help me. Why you let him take me to jail, huh?
Well, I can't do anything about that, Pop, but I will try to help you.
You will? Hey, you and the lady, you keep my lobsters. I'll give them to you.
Thanks, Pop.
Doesn't make much sense, does it, Mike? The knife being found in Pete's house.
It makes sense if somebody's trying to trap him.
But that's what I thought. But who?
I don't know for sure yet. But whoever it is figures that this will keep us from searching anymore.
Well, we nearly searched the whole coastline already.
Except that cove.
Joe Gordon kept stressing how dangerous it was. He'd already searched it.
Maybe that's why we should take a look at it. Alma and I started out next morning. The more I thought about it, the more I was convinced that Pete Bates was innocent of the charge of murder. But we needed proof. Searching the cove that had interested me so much the day before was our last remote hope.
Bubbles. He's coming up.
Gotta make it on his own.
Come on, Les! All the way!
Joe Gordon.
Yeah,
What are they doing?
I don't know.
Well, nice going, boy. You're in.
Okay, Frankie, old man, it's your turn. Let's go. Come on.
Wait a minute, will you? Let me get my fins.
What are you going to do?
See what they're up to.
I'll come with you.
No, you stay here. I don't know what I'm going to get into down there. And keep down. Don't let him see you.
Well, how you doing, boy?
All right, Phil.
Hey, quit stalling. Either you do or you don't.
Oh, what are you scared of? You can't do no more than drown.
I swam around the point of the cove. One thing was certain now. Joe Gordon was lying. There wasn't any riptide current. But why was he lying? And what was he doing here with the other divers? Then I saw something below. A sunken ship. Joe and the other diver weren't in sight yet. I decided to explore. What I found was a collection of sterling silver, some in plastic containers, obviously stolen goods. I knew now why Gordon didn't want us to search this cove. E.D., Eddie Delaney's air cylinder. This was something for the district attorney, but I didn't want Joe Gordon or his companion to discover me. My first reaction was one of incredulity. I couldn't believe that an experienced diver like Gordon would deliberately endanger a man's life by depriving him of his air. Why? Then it suddenly dawned on me. This was some sort of an initiation, an underwater hazing. A stupid, senseless kind of sadism. That's when I started to get angry. I could see that this man was new at skin diving and that he was terrified. It was apparent that any second now he'd panic. I got to him just in time. The diver was still frightened. I made a point of taking him up slowly.
Much better job than you did, boy. It took so long to do the job. Come on, let's get her.
Let go of me!
What are you doing here? Where's Nelson? Who's she? The lousy spy. What do you want to do with it? Hang on to her a minute.
Gordon hit me with the force of a bullet. I used the air tank as a shield. away, but he came after me. He had a diving lung, and I didn't. He tried to keep me fighting until the air in my lungs was gone. Finally, I grabbed him in a judo hold.
All right.
We began to surface.
You heard what he said. Joe was trying to kill Mike Nelson.
I don't believe it. He's no murderer.
You won't help me, I'll go myself. Are you all right, Mike?
Sorry I couldn't help you.
What's this all about?
Tell him. It was about Eddie Delaney.
Delaney?
Yeah, that's right. What do you guys got here, anyway? An underwater gang of some kind? That wreck down there is full of stolen stuff. How was Eddie Delaney involved in all this? I don't know what you're talking about. Come on. What happened to Delaney? All right. Let's see how long you can keep your breath. You gonna talk now? Are ya? Okay. You ready to talk? Yes. Did you kill him? Did you? Yeah. Why?
I didn't mean to. It was an accident. It was the final test, Eddie's initiation. I was down at 20 feet, and he was coming up. And he got panicky. He grabbed my air hose.
And you didn't give it to him, huh?
As God is my judge, I thought he'd make it on his own. He was my best friend.
Your best friend. What'd you do with his body? Huh?
I dragged it to shore and buried it on the coast.
Yeah. When the police started to investigate, you figured to make it look like Pete Bates killed him. So you planted the spear gun and then the knife, huh?
I was scared.
Are they in on this too?
We didn't know anything about it. I swear we didn't.
We were all members of his gang, but just for kicks. That stuff down in the cabin, we just stole it for his initiations.
Hey, you better come along too. Come on, you. The DA's waiting. So is Pete Bates. Let's go. Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. You know, 3/5 of the world is covered by the sea. And how little most of us know about that underwater world. Go below with us again next week, huh? For another thrilling adventure in Sea Hunt.
I was diving in the Red Sea with my friend Jim Barry, an archaeologist. I was helping him on one of his projects. We were searching underwater for the remains of an ancient temple, which Jim felt was more than a legend. Suddenly, Jim's wife, Anne, tossed our slate overboard. The slate said, "Come up." That could mean only one thing: trouble. It was trouble. It began for me in the old Arabian port of El Harafa. The old harbor was feeling the effects of a nearby American missile base. I was at the small boat harbor getting ready to go up the coast by water taxi.
Your passport, please. I'm Faisal Hassim, the chief of police.
It's in here someplace. Here.
I'm happy to meet you, Mr. Nelson. Commander Johnson suggested that I look you up. I am in trouble and I need your help. I know that you are on your way out to visit your friends, the archaeologist and his wife.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what can I do for you? What's your trouble, Mr. Hakim?
Late yesterday afternoon, a tank containing 10,000 gallons of a secret new explosive disappeared while en route to the guided missile base.
Disappeared? What do you mean? It was stolen?
Yes. And from my own men, I'm forced to admit. The tank has since been found, but the liquid is gone. Mr. Nelson, this explosive was worth many times its weight in gold to certain countries. And I was responsible for its safe passage.
Well, 10,000 gallons of liquid. That shouldn't be very difficult to find, especially in a country like this.
It must be found. The borders have all been closed, and we are watching every tanker in port.
Oh, well. What do you want me to do about it?
It is possible that the thieves have hidden the explosive near the coast.
Oh, I see. You figure they might be pumping it into a tanker, huh?
Exactly. Now, you and your friends will be cruising in one of the areas we have not yet covered. If you see anything at all that looks suspicious, please notify me immediately.
Okay, I'd be glad to.
We do not care if the explosive is recovered or if it is destroyed. The important thing is, certain people must not have it.
Oh?
Yes.
Well, keep my eyes open.
Be very cautious, my friend. There is something even more dangerous than the explosive. And that is the men who have stolen it. Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
Let's go, Ibn Ali.
No, I do not go. What do you mean you don't go today? We made a bargain. I need your boat.
Take the boat. Now let's go. Now.
Ibn! Ibn! What made you change your mind? Ibn!
I was thinking about Hasim's bad news as I headed up the coast to meet the Barrys. I was also puzzling over the strange behavior of Ibn Ali. What was it that had frightened him off?
Honey, it's mine.
Hey, mine! Hiya, Jim Boy.
Hiya, Mike.
Hi, big fella.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Hi,
how are
Mike.
you?
Fine, thank you.
Boy, it's nice to see you guys. Looks like a wildlife really greets you. What a layout you got here, boy. All the comforts of home.
Everything but TV.
What do you found down below there, Professor? Any earth-shaking discoveries?
Oh, nothing really earth-shaking, Mike, but I got a couple of things to show you.
Huh?
There's more and more evidence that temple is really down there. Now, with you here, maybe we'll find it, huh?
Maybe we will.
I thought you were bringing a boatman, Mike.
Yeah.
I was. Well, the last minute, he chickened out on me. He heard something that frightened him. I don't know what it was. Oh, he was really scared.
I'll bet I know. It was a sea serpent.
A what?
The sea serpent. I got it straight from the man who runs the bazaar.
That's nonsense.
He said that one was seen here yesterday afternoon, and there's not a fisherman who'll come out for any kind of money.
Look, you know what that is? It's superstition and ignorance.
I don't know now. You know that most of the really deep water in the world is undiscovered. Do you know that? Who knows what might be living down there? And what might finally decide to come up. As we moved out, I told them about the stolen explosives and the instructions that I had gotten from Hasim. We watched the shoreline, but we saw nothing suspicious. We found one of the spots on Jim's maps and began our underwater search. Anne was in the boat, acting as our safety. I was not only looking for remains on the bottom, I was also observing the marine life, some of the most interesting in the world. Anne thought she was seeing things, but when she checked with the binoculars, she got a glimpse of something which made her forget all about diving and archaeology. She wanted Jim and me on deck as fast as possible.
told you it's real.
Where are your binoculars?
Whereabouts?
Right over there.
I had never seen anything like it. Maybe we could track it down.
Take a look at that. Can't make it out. What's it look like to you?
I don't know, Mike. I can't figure it out.
A small boat was being chased at high speed. And as far as I could make out, what was chasing it was some kind of a strange, huge monster of the deep. My friends and I were following what appeared to be a giant sea serpent. And this sea serpent was chasing a fishing boat.
We're gaining on them.
Break out the shark rifle, Jim.
Think you can hit it from this far away, Mike?
I don't know. But I can try.
It disappeared.
Yeah, sure did.
The boat's stopping.
Keep on going, huh, Jim? We'll look alongside of it. That thing that was following you. You must have got a good look at it. What was it?
I don't know. It was fantastic. Had a huge head, little eyes, a big jaw full of jagged teeth.
A big monster. I never seen anything like it. We couldn't get away from it.
What are you fellas doing out here? You doing a little fishing? What were you fishing for?
Sea bass. We chartered a boat at El Harafa.
That's right. Yesterday we caught nothing. This morning, Torsten here, he hooked into something big. Then suddenly, from nowhere, this nightmare came up and swallowed it. Then he started to chase after us.
Let's get out of here, Mike.
That's a very good idea. Who knows when it may come back?
You gonna report this to the authorities when you get in?
Oh, yes, certainly. As soon as we return to Al Harafa.
I'll see you both ashore, huh?
I had sounded confident with Jim and Ann. I wasn't. I didn't tell them that I had spotted a third man in the cabin of that boat with a rifle.
Do you think they'll believe our story?
In a little while, it will not matter. You go monitor the radio to see if they make any calls. When they're out of sight, we will return.
Jim, get behind those rocks and stop, huh?
What? What's the idea, Mike?
I'm gonna go back and take a better look. Underwater.
That isn't funny, Mike.
I didn't intend it to be. They weren't being chased by anything. They were towing it. It was Irish pennant. A cut line dragging from their stern.
Towing? A sea serpent?
Oh, Ann, give me a couple of flares and some marker buoys, huh? Call Hassan, tell him what I'm doing, huh? I'll take over. Now, wait a minute. You better not. Wait till you get back on shore, huh? Those jokers are probably monitoring our radio now.
If my suspicions were correct, I wasn't going to have to face a sea serpent, but I was getting into something which could be worse. Just as I had figured, I found the strange shape on the bottom. It did look like a huge snake, but it was a tube made of nylon and covered with canvas. Undoubtedly, it was loaded with the missing high explosives. No wonder my shot had made them cut it loose. I hid behind a rock in time to see two divers descending, one of them with a spear gun. They were so close that I had to hold my breath to avoid showing any bubbles. I didn't know how long I could stand it. Finally, they disappeared toward the surface with a tow rope. I was able to breathe again. I realized that they were going to tow the explosive again. My only chance to keep up with them was to hitch a ride on the tail end of the tube. My air supply wasn't going to last too long at this rate. I didn't like to think of what would happen when it became exhausted. It was a rough ride for me. My arms ached from clinging to that rubber bomb, and my lungs ached with the effort that it took to breathe. I was groggy from the beating that I was taking. The pain in my arms was agonizing. I knew that I couldn't hold on much longer. Then, just as I felt I was about to slip off, we began to lose speed. The tow line had been cut loose, and the tube began to sink. They weren't wasting any time getting out of there, and I couldn't waste any time either. My air supply was just about gone. We had stopped in a deep cove close to shore. I went down for another look. submarine, coming in to pick up the tube. If I waited for help, it would be too late to do anything. The first frogman was already leaving the sub. I had to do something, and fast. When I had lighted an underwater flare and placed it in the canvas as a fuse, I took off my tanks and raced toward the shore and the surface. I hoped desperately that I could get out of the water before the explosion.
Can you see the periscope? Look! There's someone swimming! Must have been that man that stopped us! Go back!
Go back! It's gonna explode!
The explosion had knocked me out cold. When I regained consciousness, there wasn't a trace left of anything. Then I heard a boat. It was the Barrys coming down the coast to find me. They had no idea that they were picking up a serpent killer.
Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. Skin diving is fun and adventure for young and old, but it can be dangerous. So know the sport well and don't take any chances. Be with you next week for another exciting sea hunt.
Baker was one of the nicest people I'd ever known, and one of the best divers that I'd ever trained. But she had one bad habit, that of diving alone, in spite of my repeated warnings. She was the wife of Dr. Dick Baker, and being a doctor's wife, she thought she could handle just about anything that came along. But the girl who could handle just about anything was about to meet something that she couldn't handle. She was being propelled strongly in a direction that she didn't want to take. Her kidnappers had a firm grip on either side. She was powerless. Corinne lost her depth gauge in the struggle. It was to bring me as close to death by bullets as I had ever been. Not far away from where Corinne had been seized, I was testing an underwater power unit. It attaches to the bottom of a standard air tank and gives a diver greater speed and range. I was quite pleased with it, and a good thing, too. For in just a short time, my life and the lives of two of my best skin diving friends would suddenly depend on it.
Fancy. How does it work down there for you?
Yeah, it's a cinch. I just relax. It does all my work for me.
Hey, Artie! Come on! What's wrong?
It's Corinne. She's gone.
Corinne? She was out there diving alone?
Yes, and she didn't come up. I was busy cleaning the distributor, and then there weren't any bubbles of anything. She was just gone.
Would you get out and take a look for her?
Well, I only had a faceplate. I couldn't stay down too long, but there wasn't anything anywhere.
Whip me right out there. I'll go like here. Send a follow-up boat, Artie. With some full tanks, and round up as many divers as you can, huh? Oh, and you better notify her husband, too.
Now, wait a minute, Mike. Let's not jump to conclusions.
She could have gone up on shore to visit friends.
Where'd you say she was diving?
The usual place.
The Gordon cabin is on shore right near there. She could be there, or on a boat with friends. Any one of 1,000 places. Let's not get excited.
I agree, but if we're going to look for her, let's not waste any time, huh? Go ahead. And don't spend the horsepower. Remember, this has happened before. Your show Corinne is perfectly all right. Let's go. Come on, man.
The hideout toward which they were heading was an exceptionally inaccessible one, cut off from the sea, usually by heavy surf, screened from the sides by huge rocks, and hidden from the shore by high cliffs. Only divers who knew these waters intimately could find their way into it. I wasn't one of them, just then.
Sir, all right. Morning, Miss Baker.
Who are you? What's this all about?
And now for the 11 o'clock news. Sheriff Samuel Curtis admitted today there is still no trace anywhere of the three daring stick-up men who 2 days ago marched boldly into the Sun Neva Casino, sprayed the luxurious gambling hall with tear gas, and escaped with $250,000. For 2 days, every square mile of the surrounding desert has been combed by jeeps, planes, and even helicopters, but without sign of the wanted men. What has the authorities really baffled is that every possible escape route was blocked off within 15 minutes after the bandits sped away. And yet, they seem to have vanished from the face of the earth. Geneva, Switzerland. A new development...
Every possible escape route was blocked off.
How does it feel now?
It's all right. Just the same, I think we better get started with Madame here.
Mrs. Baker, I've been told your husband is a very good doctor, a man of integrity.
Also a very good skin diver. Here,
I want you to write him a message. Say, I'm being held. Come with these men.
Why should I?
Because he's got a bullet in his shoulder, and we're getting a doctor here to get it out.
There's even a better reason. She write the message because she wants to live. Also because she wants her husband to live.
Completed a systematic series of broad sweeps through the area where Corinne was last seen. Then, with full tanks, I had extended my search up along the more remote parts of the shoreline. My power unit gave me tremendous range, but I had seen nothing. I was beginning to think that maybe my friend on the pier was right, that Corinne probably had left the water to visit friends on shore. I debated whether to call it off, but some intuition urged me to keep on going.
guns?
And then I saw something. It was a depth gauge with Corinne's initials. I didn't have very long to think about it. Off in the distance, divers were approaching. I moved quickly to conceal myself. One of the men was Doc Baker, I was sure of it. And he seemed to be under escort of some kind. Or was he?
Time later for tender moments. Right now I've got this piece of lead in my shoulder that's just aching to be removed.
Well, that's reason enough to bring me here. But what about her?
You see, we haven't harmed your wife.
All right, let me take a look at it. Over there, and get that shirt off.
I was moving very cautiously, not knowing what might be waiting for me up ahead or up above.
Bring that bag over here. I want you to lie down and lay your head on this bag. You'll have to help me, honey.
One thing, Doc. I can take the pain, so no anesthetics. They dull the senses. I won't mind keen. You better not make any mistakes. They say they bury a doctor's mistakes. I promise you, if you make one, we'll bury the doctor.
Bone injury. You're lucky. It should heal very quickly.
Thank you, Doctor. It feels very good.
We did what you wanted. Now let us go.
Patience, Mrs. Baker. Patience.
How do we know you will let us go?
You don't. All right, get over against the rock so I can watch you. Go on. Come on.
I had seen Doc Baker desperately slipping a couple of rocks into his bag. Anything that he tried that way might be sheer suicide. I would have to distract them quickly. An underwater flare might do it. They wouldn't know what to make of the smoke or where it came from. If I was in luck, one of them might even come down to investigate.
I don't know. Better check it. If you see anything, come up fast. I shut off his air valve. I felt him grow weak. You see anything? Just bubbles.
It didn't take long to tie him up. I had turned on his air again. Now he could breathe, but not much more than that.
You better get down there. Right. Here.
I knew that if the second man came at all, he would be far more cautious. I had left his friend out as bait.
here. Come on, hurry up. Up against the rocks there. Put your hands on the rocks. Lean on them.
I soon had him ready to join his friend. Now there was only one bandit left. I couldn't help Doc Baker very much anymore. But maybe I could give him the chance to help himself. Just a few feet of water can slow bullets down tremendously. I could try to draw the wounded man's fire just long enough for the Doc to make his move. I hoped the Doc would have the presence of mind to seize his opportunity. Given him a good chance, but nothing had happened. Maybe I hadn't stayed close enough to the surface long enough.
Don't, darling, don't do anything.
Honey, he's out cold.
Mike! Mike Nelson!
Mike!
Mike!
Oh, Mike, thanks a lot. Oh, Mike. Hey, where are those other two?
They're all tied up, about 30 feet down, waiting for the police. Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. You know, 3/5 of the world is covered by the sea. And how little most of us know about that underwater world. Go below with us again next week, huh? For another thrilling adventure in Sea Hunt.